Hello and welcome. So up till now we have completed that a function is a block of code that performs specific task. In this video we will be discussing about function prototype. So a function prototype is simply the declaration of function that specifies function name, parameter and return type. So it doesn't contain a function body. Let's write function prototype contains, first is function's name, what are the parameters that will be passed to the function, and the return type, that what type of value the function will return. Now when we say about function prototype, it doesn't contain the function body. A function prototype gives information to the compiler that the function may be later used in the program, but as of now this is only a declaration part, there is no definition here. So the syntax will be like, we'll be having the return type, then we have the function name, then we have the argument. I'm intentionally writing type 1 and argument 1, then type 2 and argument 2. That means in a function, first argument can be of one type and second argument can be of different type as well. Now let us see this with one example. Here is the example. The example contains a function to perform the addition or add two numbers. Now in this example you can see, I have written in the comment section as well, this is our function prototype. Okay, is the function prototype which provides the information to the compiler. What are the information it is providing? It is providing that the name of the function is, what is the name of the function? The name of the function is add numbers. Okay, this is only the name. Okay, I'm marking here in this example, this is the name of the function. Then this prototype is providing the information that what is the return type of the function. Return type is written here, this is the integer. Okay, that once this function will execute, it will return one integer value. Then two arguments of type integer passed. These are the two arguments, integer a and integer b. So the type of argument will be integer. So just by writing this simple one line in our program before the main function, this is function prototype, and it is telling to our compiler that there will be one function with the name add numbers which will return some integer type value, and it will take two arguments of integer type. That's it. We haven't written anything for the body part and what are the definitions inside the function, how this function will perform, but only the information regarding that what will be the name, what will be the return type, what type of arguments it will take. Now, in case when a function prototype, what are the cases in which function prototype is not required? So the function prototype will not be required in case when we write this whole body, this function definition part. This is our function definition part. If we write these statements above the main function, if we define it before main function, then we need not to provide this function prototype information. Okay, we can directly write the code and then we can use in the main function. Remember, the prototype should be defined before using the function. Before this function call, it should be written somewhere in your program. Now let us understand about calling a function. The control of the program is transferred to the user-defined function by calling it. Now, there is a specific syntax for calling a function. That is, we have to write the function name, and then we have to provide arguments. So argument number 1, argument number 2, likewise. And remember, while calling, we have to write this semicolon as well. So if we look back to our previous example here, in this example, this is the location where we have the function call. So what we have done here, this is our function name, okay, and these n1 and n2, these are our arguments. Okay, remember, the function is called inside the main function. So the function call is made using add numbers. This is the function name, and n1 and n2 are the arguments, and this statement is written inside the main function. Remember that the function call is done inside the main function. Now let us go to the function definition part. Function definition contains the block of code to perform a specific task that we have already seen in our previous example of addition of two numbers and returning it. Now let us see the syntax of function definition. So the function definition syntax is like, we'll be writing the return type, function name, then the arguments, and then inside the curly braces we'll write the body of the function. This is the place where we will be writing the actual code to perform a task specific. Suppose if we look back to our previous example, this is the function definition part. Here this is our first statement, a return type, name of the function, arguments, and this portion is our body of the function. So inside the body we write the code which we want to do, what we want to do with this function, because this function is written for calculating the sum of two integers, right? So this function should return the result, which is sum of these two integer values which are passed as a parameter. Now when a function is called, the control of the program is transferred to the function definition and compiler start executing the code inside the body of the function. So what happens inside the main function, whenever you write, because in previous statement we have discussed that we need to call a function by writing the statement, function name and parameter passing inside the main function. So once the compiler finds out that there is a function call in the main program, then what it will do? It will jump the control of program from the main to the function where we have done this definition part, where the body of the function is written, and the compiler start executing the code written in the body of the function. This body will some instructions will be written like addition, performance, and then return a result, and this return will be taken, and then the control will again jump to our main program, and then further line of codes will be executed. How this will happen, we will be understanding by seeing the passing arguments to a function. Now, argument refers to the variable passed to the function. So in this example, we have two variables n1 and n2. As you can see, this statement is our function call. How would you identify this is a function call? The name of the function, this function is already declared here. Function prototype is defined in the above line. Here, this function prototype and the function name and with the arguments. So this is called a function call, which is written inside the main function, right? And the argument, the two variables n1 and n2 are passed during the function call itself. Now the parameters a and b accepts the passed argument in the function definition. Whatever you will pass here for n1 and n2, they will be taken in the function as the value of a and b. So technically what is happening, a is equal to n1 and b is equal to n2. Whatever you will pass here in n1 and n2, they will be working as the parameters of the function, because this function body will execute with the parameters written over here. Now these arguments are called formal parameters of function. Okay, this integer a and integer b, these are called as formal parameters of the function. That means whatever you write at the time of function call, you write here full number 1, number 2, you write no1, no2, you write here x and y, whatever you will pass in this function call, once this body of the function will be executed, they will be passed through these formal parameters of the function only. The type of arguments passed to a function and the formal parameters must match, otherwise the compiler will throw an error. So remember that the type of n1 and type of a should match. Okay. Likewise, the type of n2 and type of parameter b should match. If these are integers, a and b should be integers. If n1 is character, then integer a should be character type. Then only these arguments or these parameters will be working in this function. Otherwise, the compiler will give some error. Okay. A function can also be called without passing in arguments. We will see that example later on. Now let's move on to the return statement. So the return statement terminates the execution of function and returns a value to the calling function. That means inside the main we have called the function here in this line. So whatever return statement returns, here it returns the value of result, that will be returned back to our calling function is main function who has called this function add numbers. So at this position, at this place, the value will be replaced by the return value. The program control is transferred to the calling function after the return statement. So what happens? The flow of the program is like this. What happens? The flow will start with, we'll be starting like this in the main, the code will execute, and once we see this function calling, the control will jump to the function body, okay, function definition part. The values or the code written inside this, they will be executed, and after execution the last line of this function is return statement. So once this will execute, once this function will return the value of result, the value of result will be replaced here, and the control of program will reach to this point and further line of codes will be executed. In this example, the value of result variable is returned to the main function. The sum variable in the main function is assigned this value. That means now sum contains the whatever the value is returned by the function as a result. And then further line of code, suppose we want to print this sum, they will be going to have. Return is simple. What we can write for return statement, and that can be done in any program. You need to write return, and then inside this you can write your expression, whatever your let's say here result is a variable, whatever you want to return by this function. So you can write like, for example, you can write like in the same program you write return A, or you can write return A plus B. That can be returned. The type of value returned from the function and the return type specified in the function prototype, they should match. Suppose in this same example, in the prototype definition we have written this function has a return type integer. So here the result should be of integer type. Whatever you want to return by the function, you need to specify. Here and here you need to specify. Suppose you want to return some floating point value, then you will write float add numbers at the time of prototype and the definition of the function. So I hope you must have understood the passing the arguments in the function and how we can deal with the return statement. Thank you for watching.